Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful Wednesday session. I think it's the 13th of August. And to our live web presentation, myself and the wonderful Trish Bartholomew will be presenting tonight. I'm going to be presenting on the product part, and Trish will take over on the business. But just before we start, just let me let you know how I came into live web. It was actually both myself and Trish just over a year ago. I was in May last year. And my upline, Amanda, who many of us know, she said to me one day she wants to talk to me about something very interesting that she's involved in. And I thought, I really don't want to hear about this because I know she's involved in multi-level marketing, and I'm kind of allergic to this. This is not something I want to be involved in. But because I know Amanda well, and because I know, like, and trust her, I said, well, tell me about it. It was a Wednesday evening, and that was it. I was sold. I mean, literally I was sold. Immediately after the call, the first person I called was Trish. And I said to Trish, because her husband was having problems with his neck, and I said, Trish, I don't know anything about anything, but there's something you have to have. Okay? I'm going to do a little bit of homework and then I'll let you know. And then Trish was my first downline. Here we are. And, we always wanted to do business together. And here we are in business, basically. And also, this is our first presentation together. So I'm really, really excited. But also, so I actually started promoting the patches and everything before I even signed up, before I ordered patches. That's how much I believed in the product. It was something that I had been wanting all along, not knowing what it was, that kind of thing. And then my patches arrived, I started patching, and you'll see some of the benefits that we do in the presentation. I've really experienced all of those. I'm not a one patch wonder. I haven't had amazing transformations, but things just started happening sort of regularly. I started sleeping better. I started dreaming. I'm dreaming again. I'm breathing better, Sharon. So I've always had problems with my nose since a child because I used to have massive nosebleeds that I would be rushed to the hospital because we just couldn't stop my nose from bleeding. And because of that, I had a lot of cauterization. So it really affected my nasal passages. And since I started using the X39, I can actually now feel the air moving between the nasal passages, which I couldn't feel before. I don't have many nosebleeds anymore, just sometimes, but very, very slight. Lots of energy. And quite a few people have called me the Energizer Bunny. They didn't know each other, but I'm full of energy. And in fact, just this past week, two unrelated people actually came up to me and just said, there's something different about me. And I'm looking, that both of them said that my skin is glowing. It was so interesting, and they don't know each other. So something's definitely happening. So lots and lots of little changes. Something that's huge is my cholesterol and my glucose levels have completely normalized, and I haven't done anything. Also, I went to the GP maybe, I think it was the end of last year, and he said he couldn't believe that someone of my age, I'm not on any medication at all, nothing at all. I sometimes take a Panado, and he said I've got the healthiest heart he's seen in a long, long time. So that's amazing. Also, just very quickly, I've got two doggies. Trish knows them. Tao, Tao. He used to be quite grumpy. He's 15 years old. Since he's been patching, he's a different boy. Just today on one of the walks, the one guy said, because I've got two dogs, and some people like Tao, some people like Miracle, and this guy Josh said he loves Tao because Tao is always smiling. He's just such a happy chappy. So lots of changes, and changes happen every day actually. I'll tell you one or two more testimonials later on, but for now, Trish, would you like to do your journey when you do your presentation?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And then we will start the presentation. I'm looking forward to sharing this. Okay, so we always start off with, have you been patched yet? And some of us have been patching for a year, 2 years. Some people haven't started yet, and some people don't really know what it's about. But you are in the right place. It's all about elevating, activating, and regenerating our stem cells. And since I've come into LifeWave, I know that you cannot talk about LifeWave without talking about David Schmidt. So he's the CEO and inventor of X39. He has over 200 patents now. He's one of 200. He's one of two people in the world that has over 200 patents. And he is a scientist and inventor. He's not a doctor. He specializes in age reversing. And in 2008, he knew that stem cells, I don't know if you remember in that time, it started becoming the buzzword, and we knew that it was really important, and he knew that too. And he's a forward thinker. So he started working on focusing his attention on stem cell research in 2008. And this recent patent, the X39 that we're focusing on tonight, took him 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So you're not going to do something like that. That's a lot of money and a lot of time, 10 years of your life, if you don't believe in something. So this is patented technology. I'm not going to read that. You can read that yourself. But just to say that if you know anything about patents, first of all, it's very costly, but it's a very, you really have to be able to prove that what you're saying in the patent, you can actually, you do get those results. So anything that you read about X39 actually has been proven. There are lots of case studies, clinical trials, and all the testimonials are proof of that as well. So why X39 stem cell activation patch? This is all the information I knew nothing about when I got into LifeWave. Because quite honestly, when I signed up with LifeWave, I didn't know anything about the patches, and I didn't know anything about the business. So I've really been learning as I've gone along, and it's been a wonderful journey. So the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal, which is quite scary. If I didn't know about the patch, to think that I would be aging like that. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging all around the world, and we know that. We were one of them before we started patching. We've got friends, we've got family, our parents, our siblings. You can see the signs of aging. What's very interesting is at the age of 30, only half our stem cells are active. So we've got thousands and thousands of stem cells, but only half are active. So you can imagine that you're not going to heal as quickly as you were when you're a teenager. But then by the age of 60, you lose almost all stem cell activity. So just think about it in your own life. If you 40, 50, 60, and you fall and maybe break a bone, or you get sick, you just don't heal as quickly as you used to heal when you were younger. Why? Because the stem cells are inactive. So I think that's fascinating to know. And what the patch does is reactivate those stem cells so that you can start healing. So how does it work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Whenever I think of phototherapy, I always think I studied biology at school, but I always think of those lights around. If you see babies in incubators at the hospital, those lights that they put them under to help them heal, especially if they've been born prematurely. That happened to twins in my family. So it's really just light therapy and frequency of light. It's patented nanocrystal technology, so nano, very, very, very small crystals, and it reflects light to activate. So not the light from outside, not the light from the sun, but the light from your body. So we're all emitting infrared light, and what happens is, as soon as that light touches the patch on your body, it sends it back in, and then a whole medical technology takes place. There's nothing pharmaceutical about it. It's all about light and frequency. It's non-transdermal, no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants, nothing at all, and it's non-invasive. So it's not about, stem cell transplants, injecting your body with stem cells. There's no chemicals going in your body. It's just a process that is happening. And LifeWave products, very important to know, are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. We are not doctors, but we do know miracles certainly happen every day. So the benefits, and I've experienced, I think, all of these, increased strength, reduced inflammation, which is huge because I think a lot of the causes of disease these days is through inflammation. Increased stamina, which I've talked about, a lot of energy and vitality, truly. Mental clarity, so that brain fog just disappears. Restored skeletal and muscular situations with myself as well. My C4 and C5 a disc in my neck was out of alignment, and I think it was from walking one of my dogs. And that's completely, or I think completely corrected itself because I'm not suffering from those pins and needles anymore. As I mentioned, improvement of sleep, I'm even dreaming, and improved skin appearance, which 2 people just this week have actually mentioned to me without me asking, without me asking. So really it's about achieving optimal health, physical, mental clarity. It's not just about the health, it's the whole holistic being. So this is a result of a topography map of a 77-year-old woman. I believe she's a yoga instructor. And, this is another amazing thing about today's technology, that we can take photographs of the brain and see what's happening. So session 1, before any X39, before she was patched, you can see how inflamed her brain is, all the red and the orange. And you can imagine when your brain's inflamed, there's complete lack of brain coherence. In session 2, and this is after 3 weeks of X39, I mean, you can see the complete difference there. No more inflammation and improved brain coherence. That's only after 3 weeks. And then session 3, after 6 weeks, complete turnaround and better brain coherence. So you can see, but what's important as well is after session 3, her brain remained calm, didn't go back, it remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. So X39 has long-term results, okay? You can, this is a, you can write this down or take a snapshot, a screen share of this site. This is at info.com. Fantastic site. It's got a lot of case studies. Anything you want to know about X39 is on that site. So within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. When I started patching, I just loved that idea that my genes were beginning to reset. And within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced, like you saw in the previous slide. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. And as Alex always says, we were brought up to think of collagen, for, my mom always used to say, for good hair and strong nails and things like that, which of course it does. But actually collagen is so important for the whole body. It's basically the glue that holds the body together, okay? Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. There are also case studies on this, and it can reverse. I think they've done case studies up to 8 years in age. As I said to you, my doctor said he hasn't seen such a healthy heart in a long time. So it's not anti-aging, it's actually age reversing. And the thought of my heart and my organs getting younger is very, very appealing to me because I want to live as long as I can on this planet Earth. So how do we wear X39? It's really easy. It's really easy. So you have your patch and you wear it 12 hours on and 12 hours off. This really, really is important because that is there to help your body to repair and rejuvenate. You wear it 2 fingers underneath your belly button or the back of your neck. Or quite frankly, nowadays, if I have a pain in my thumb or something, I actually just put the X39 right on the source of the pain. But those are the 2 good spots that we can wear them. And then after 12 hours, we throw the patch away. Or actually, we don't really throw them away. We know there's some still quite a bit of life left, at least maybe 6 hours in them. So I take that patch and I patch my doggies, or you can patch your husband, someone that's living in the house, or you can patch a plant. Um, Kirsten has patched her plants up and seen phenomenal results because it's all about light, all about phototherapy. You can wear more than one patch at a time, and what we mean by that is we're focusing on X39 tonight, but we have, I think, 9 or 10 other patches. For example, Trish was talking about, just before we started recording, Ice Wave, which is a pain blocker. We've got a fantastic patch called Aeon, which is for inflammation. So let's say you're in pain for something, you could wear your Ice Wave, plus you could wear the X39, but not two X39s at the same time. It would be a waste. But very, very important to drink plenty of water. We've got to keep our bodies hydrated. So we have to do our bit. You know, it's also if we're on a good diet and looking after ourselves, exercising a bit and drinking a lot of water plus electrolytes, we can just help the patch do its work. So really the X39 is really so sophisticated. If you go and read all those case studies and that, it's just phenomenal, especially if you like research like Alex or you are a scientist. But it's really simple to explain. And the testimonies of X39 are really life-changing and emotional. We've had many tears on these presentations. And the best thing about X39 is that it absolutely works. So I'm going to stop the share now, and we're going to share some, because we'd like to share some testimonials. And if anyone's got a testimonial to share, otherwise I will pick on some. Trish, have you unmuted?
No, I was going to ask Alex to, because most of the people on the call are new. So, Alex, if you can briefly say your testimony, because it is very phenomenal about your polymyalgia, please. You're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I was very reluctant to get involved with these patches at all because it sounded like a whole bunch of garbage to me. I'm a nurse, and this all really did sound silly. So I spent a long time doing some research, but in terms of my testimony, the patches do what they say they will do, which is increase what we call an endogenous peptide, which is something that our body has and loses as we age. And that peptide stimulates dormant stem cells. It does do that. We have the clinical evidence to prove that it does do that. So once I'd done all the research, I had a thing called polymyalgia, which is many inflamed muscles for 20 years. It was desperately inconvenient. It was incredibly sore. It was very tiring. And I just took cortisone and anti-inflammatories and whatever else I needed to take in order to keep going to run a normal life, and 3 children and a husband and 2 businesses and whatever else needed to be done. So I started using LifeWave X39 patches because of polymyalgia. And I had some terrible days in which I was terribly sore or very tired, because this is healing, not medicine. So we're not managing symptoms or doing disease control. We are healing. And I had other days that were fabulous, by the way. And I did get a whole lot of cosmetic benefits. I lost all the fine lines in my face. My hair all grew back that had all fallen out. My gut got repaired. There were a whole lot of things. My eyes were even lifted. I no longer get these little black dots across here from my mascara. So lots of things changed for me on the outside, but on the inside, it took me 10 months and I woke up pain-free. So if I had stopped at 6 or 7 or 8, I wouldn't be here telling you the story. And I hung in because I understood that stem cells were fixing whatever they were fixing, and they were going to get where they were going. That counted to me eventually. I'd been inflamed with that disease for 20 years. to expect it to be resolved within a couple of weeks was unrealistic. So there was a lot to repair. So for me, it was absolutely life-changing. I can now get in and out of my car anywhere I like. I can cycle. I can get stuff out of a cupboard. I don't have to turn my entire butt to look behind me when I drive my car. I sleep properly. My head works, which was a nice addition. Just a whole lot of things like that changed for me significantly. So, and as it's gone, so different things have changed. My dentist always used to ask me if I chewed rocks when I wasn't with him because he needed to reconstruct my mouth every time. And the last twice I've been to him, he said, there's nothing going on here. Let's just clean your teeth. So there's been a lot of changes for me personally. And if I think back, I could probably run a thing like a telephone directory because in 2 years, which is for how long I've been on them, a lot has changed. But yeah, that's my testimonial.
Wonderful, always. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. I've just got two short ones that are very different and interesting before we get to your story, Trish, and I thought it would be nice to share. Because as Alex said, some people it's a one-patch wonder, change happens overnight, and other people it can take 10 months. But 10 months compared to 20 years of having something is like a really small, exactly, it's minute. But just maybe about a month ago, the strangest thing happened. I was walking into my home. I kind of live in a little farm, and I walked into a bee. So the bee was flying, and I walked into it, and the bee stung me here. Luckily, I'm not allergic, and but it really, I haven't been stung in a while, and it was really painful. I could actually feel it immediately swell up. Quickly ran inside. I took an Eon. I just slapped it on my cheek, just like that. And I promise you, I almost felt like a, I felt something, a warmth actually, and the pain went away within minutes. I kept the patch on, took it off in the evening. Absolutely no sign that I had been stung, no swelling, no nothing. And then the next week, I burnt myself with boiling hot water from the kettle on my index finger. Same thing, I wrapped an Eon around that. Literally within minutes, the pain was gone. Also, no scarring, nothing. So I'm just anything that happens, I'm just slapping a patch on it, and it seems to work. So I just wanted to share those two testimonials. Trish, before we go back to the share, would you like to tell your story, how you got into Lifeway?
Sure. Thank you, Kim. So good evening, everybody. My name is Trish, and I live in Durban and KwaZulu-Natal. And as Kim said, I've joined Lifeway just after hers. I think I signed up basically on the last day of May in 2024. So I've been patching for 14 months. And I have to be honest, although Kim shared it, was very excited to share with me because of my husband's terrible neck that he has with arthritis. For me, when I just heard the words dollars, it's an opportunity to earn dollars. For me, that was a no-brainer. I didn't do any research. I'm very gullible. I just accept what people say. I attended a Zoom call like this, but yeah, I just decided like that. I was in. I hadn't even had patches yet, and I signed up. And I must say, for me, in this last 14 months, it's just been a privilege. I found it an absolute privilege to share this opportunity with people. And, oh, excuse me. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be involved in this amazing business, which we can do when we want to, how much we want to, and help people to get their lives back. And, it's not only their health life, but their financial life as well. And when I first joined, as many people in South Africa feel, oh, it's so expensive. But the exciting thing is we can teach people how to get these patches for themselves for free because they're using their commission. And I do this business very part-time because I have a full-time business that is very demanding and very, very busy. And since September last year, I have been getting my patches, and my husband's for not paying for them because they're coming out of our commission. You're earning your commission in dollars, buying your patches in dollars. So it's an absolute win-win situation. And for me, I just am so grateful for it. But I'm also very happy to be able to share that kind of opportunity with other people who either need the healing or who need the income, additional income, or just a income because they lost their jobs. So just generally, obviously, once I started using the patches, I did start to see changes in my body as Kim did. And I think with everybody, the first one we see is the sleeping. Oh my goodness, just fall asleep like that. I mean, I used to lie awake literally for 2 hours. I'm not being able to fall asleep. Now I think, oh, I'm not going to fall asleep, and the next minute it's morning. Well, I've woken up once during the evening during the night to go to the loo. So that was incredible for me. The brain fog cleared, the memory has improved, my skeletal strength is just so much better. I am so aware of that. What else has been good for me? Oh, and then just little odds and ends as well. The other day I walked into the tow bar at the back of my husband's car. You know, you don't see it, and I hit it hard. It was really very, very sore. And normally when that happens, you get a big lump, and it takes ages to go away. You get a big bruise immediately. And I didn't rush and get any patches because I didn't have Icewave for the pain. So I just muscled on. And do you know that I didn't get a bump? There was no lump there whatsoever. The pain went so quickly. I actually put a photograph on one of our groups of the little pink mark that was there on my shin and that I believe is just because I've been patching for 14 months. My body's in such a good state that and the stem cells have obviously been reactivated, that it just healed like that. It didn't even create anything. So that's just a tiny little example. And then my husband, when we had first started patching, he cut his leg very badly with a knife. And he should really have had stitches, but he's not that type of guy. If he can get by without, he won't. And honestly, it was a bad cut. Within 10 days, and I mean, he was 67 at the time. Within 10 days, that wound had healed beautifully with this thin little scar. So it's just, yeah, this is the state of our bodies with stem cells being reactivated. So yeah, that's my little shares.
Wonderful. Thank you, Trish. I will start sharing the PowerPoint again. Okay, and just my last slide. You can take a screenshot of this. That's the word I was looking for, screenshot. A fantastic website, especially if you are like Alex, who loves research. She researched a lot. Go there and you will find all the information you need. And now we're going to go over to Trish onto the business.
Okay, so we start here sharing a lot about the actual company, LifeWave itself. So as we can see, it's a 20-year-old company, which for me speaks volumes. And in October this year, it'll actually be 21 years that the company has been going. It's now open in over 80 countries, which again, a worldwide product, and we can have brand partners all over the world. It's not a Me Too product. Now, what do we mean by that? And this is what makes LifeWave so successful. Because of all the patents that David Schmidt has, there's nobody else, there's no other company in the world that can reproduce this product that we have. And I'm talking specifically now about X39. So there are many weight loss companies out there, supplement companies, skincare companies. You can go to Dischem, you can go to Clicks, buy all those different products, but you can only get the patches through LifeWave. And that is, for us, is just phenomenal because we just don't have any competition out there. So as you can see how the company has grown, in 2021, they did a $20 million turnover. 2022 it jumped quite a lot, and that was as a result of X39 coming out, and the sales from X39, it jumped to $320 million, then $430 million, and at the end of last year, the turnover was over $600 million. Now, for me, a company number one that's almost 21 years old, that's doing that kind of turnover, speaks volumes for the type of company that we are involved in. And then we are very close to doing, and I think we will achieve, over $1 billion at the end of 2025. And I just want to say, with all that money, it sounds like, whoa, David Schmidt must be absolutely bathing in money. But you know that with his heart, he's the most incredible man. And he gives back 60% of the turnover to brand partners in LifeWave. So it's more than half he gives back, which I think is phenomenal. Now, I don't know if any of you know about this website, thisbusinessforhome.org. You can go and have a look at it. And there, LifeWave has been ranked the #1 momentum company. What does that mean? A company that has grown the quickest, network marketing company that has grown the quickest. And I think it's now 2 years in a row in the world out of all network companies, multi-level marketing companies in the world. And you can see over since the company, the stats we had there from 2020, it's had a 3,000% growth, which is just phenomenal. These are just some slides of David receiving an award. So there he is on my left with the blue shirt on. And then the lady in the striped suit is the CEO of the company, Meredith. And then the couple is the couple who heads up. This is a team. They're based in the States, and we're a part of this as a team. And my word, what a privilege. They're the ones that have put out these websites. This is at info and this is at team.com, and they are really phenomenal leaders. And then the company has also won the #1 growth company in the world of direct selling. I mean, that's huge. How many direct selling companies are there out there? And LifeWave is #1, and they win they call it the Bravo Award. That's just one of the conventions that they have in the States. You can just see the size of it, just phenomenal. And one day, hopefully, we'll all be able to attend one of those. So now at this time, it's so important to ask yourself, what is the most important in your life right now? Is it to be able to have, to bless your own family, to have more family, to be able to give to your family? Is it to have more time to do what you want to do, to perhaps spend time with family? Is it freedom from debt? I mean, I think a lot of us would definitely love freedom from debt. Is it the freedom to travel when you want, where you want to? And LifeWave have many beautiful overseas incentives, so one can definitely be a part of that. Do you want better health, or do you just want security? And security because your health is better and because you now have no debt. So it's quite a good thing to look at and decide what it is you want for yourself. So now we go on to the how do we get paid through LifeWave? The compensation plan, which is being revamped and enhanced at the moment for us brand partners, it is one of the best out there. It is so easy. It is very, there's just no complications at all. You're not spreading wide and digging deep, 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 like 20 levels down. All you have to do is yourself, and there is worked on a binary system, which is a left team and a right team. Once you get up to a manager level, which is bringing in 2 people on your left and 2 people on your right, then opens up all commissions, and you can earn up to $25,000 a week. Now, who wouldn't want to do that? And there are people in LifeWave who are earning $25,000 a week. And that is a phenomenal amount of money. And that is team commission. And everything works on a cycle bonus. Once you reach certain volumes on your left or your right side, you earn weekly cycle bonuses. And that is commission that gets paid to you. I don't want to go into it in too much detail because we don't want to confuse you. But where it says there, getting started is as easy as knowing 4 people to go manager. You must all know 4 people who you love and want to help. And you tell them about LifeWave, bring them in, 2 on your right, 2 on your left, and there you go. You're a manager, and the commission structure is wide open to you. And then also once you're a manager, you can earn matching bonuses. Now, for me, this is exciting. And when I first saw the Zoom, I had no clue. I thought, what are they talking about? And only when you're in it and experiencing it does it make a lot of sense. So I'm just going to use an example. Kim is my upline. So I'm her first level. So every time I earn a cycle bonus every week or a few cycle bonuses, Kim will earn 25% of my cycle bonuses. And she gets paid not from what I've earned, it's something in addition to. So Lifeway pay her 25% of my cycle bonuses. Now I have just brought in Wendy. So every time Wendy earns a cycle bonus, Kim is going to earn 20% and I will earn 25%. And then Wendy brings in somebody, she'll earn 25%, Kim will earn 20%, and I'll earn 20%. I mean, how incredible is that? And this is what I love. As I said, it's only 3 levels down, but you can go as wide as you like. So if I've got 20 people on one leg and 30 people on the other leg, every time they earn a cycle bonus, I will earn 25%. And Kim would earn 20%. I mean, that's mind-blowing. And that's when your income becomes unlimited and you can get to that $25,000 a week. That to me is like stupid money, so I can't even wrap my head around it. So how do we become a part of this incredible company? These are the 3 main plans that you can come in on. And it all depends on your situation. How many free sleeves do you want to get? And how serious are you about it? So the lowest plan is the core, $295. And with the core, you will get 3 sleeves of X39. So you don't pay the $25 joining up fee, and you get 3 sleeves of X39. And if you work that out to the wholesale price of X39, you're getting a discount on each sleeve. Then the advanced plan is you might want to patch a lot of members in your family, or you just want to really have patches available to patch other people. You come in on the advanced plan, which is $535, but for that you get 6 sleeves of X39. And with that as well, you can mix and match your sleeves. So you can take, instead of a sleeve of X39, you can take 2 sleeves of the supplementary patches. So, which is really nice as well. You don't have to have all X39. And then for the serious entrepreneur, you're coming on the premium plan. And this is a lot, mainly for clinics, pharmacies, physiotherapists, anybody that wants to patch their patients and have patches available that they can sell to them on the spot. That is $1,750, and you get 20 sleeves of X39, which is incredible. Plus, you can mix and match if you want to. So just because I mentioned to Wendy, I was talking about volume, and it dependent on your volume as to how many cycle bonuses you get. You'll see for the first plan when you join, you get 180 personal volume, then 300 personal volume, or 745 personal volume. So that is really, that's just the different ways you can come in. And they don't mention it here, but I do like to mention it because I like to help people come into the business who maybe don't have the upfront dollars. And you could start on $25. That's a starter pack. With that $25, you don't earn any volume, so you're not active. So in other words, you can't start to earn cycle bonuses. But as soon as you buy a sleeve of patches, you then become active. So you can do it in your own time, but you're still a part of LifeWave. You still get your back office, which is your website. And you can still continue to, promote the business and start to bring in brand partners. So we've mentioned this is at info.com. The other website is thisisateam.com. Now that website is, once you're a brand partner, it has everything on it for training, for you to learn how to run your business, how to get started, how to contact referrals. It is a wealth of knowledge. And honestly, we are so blessed to have these 2 websites that Gina and Steve Merritt put together for us. So now's the time to make your move. Are you serious about your dream? This is hope for your future, be it financial or wellness. So why not right now get started with X39? Okay. Sorry, before the slide doesn't come up, so I forgot to mention it, but there are other ways you can become a part of LiveWave, and that is you can either buy the patches retail, or if you want them at wholesale, you can come in as a preferred customer, where you'll get them at wholesale prices, but you have to sign up for a 3-month subscription. But every 4th month, you get 10 free patches. And if you sign up as a preferred customer plus on a subscription, every month you'll get 10 free patches, which is really awesome. So if you really want to use patches for your health or for people you know, that is an awesome way to come in without having to join on a plan as such. And also with a preferred customer, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. And if you come in as a brand partner, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. And I know people who have gone through that and have experienced the money-back guarantee. So it really is something that I think, to me, it shows how confident David Schmidt is in his product, that he is prepared to offer that kind of money-back guarantee to people. So yes, you can't go wrong. Really, really can't. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you so much, Trish. That was a wonderful presentation. What I'm going to do now, first of all, if you are interested, if you want to sign up on the dotted line right now, or you have more questions, please go back to the person who invited you. They'll definitely be able to help you sign up or just answer more questions that you may have. I'm going to stop the recording now. Please stay on. We are happy to answer some of your questions. But let me stop the recording.